This is an we production.
Welcome to the Real Talk Podcast, where the goal is to better our understanding through conversation. Communicating our feelings, our thoughts, or our opinions could be some of the easiest, or it could be some of the hardest things to do. But by communicating, we begin to form new perspectives. So throughout the various topics and opinions we discuss on our podcast, we hope that we can add value, understanding, and maybe a few laughs to your day. We appreciate you guys listening and enjoy the show.
It's interesting. You notice sometimes when you pray, it's like even in the midst of a prayer, I've noticed it's a piece of self that wants to even come out in the prayer, in which God will check you sometimes in your prayer. Mm-hmm. It's like your mouth will get quick and want to say something, and God, no, this is what I want you to say.
Right.
It's like, so you want to belt out this and this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like checking yourself at the door starts even with prayer.
It does.
And it's like humbling yourself to, I'm not about to jump, you know what I'm saying? I'm not about to jump the gun. I'm going to listen for the gun to go off. Now it's time to, you know what I'm saying, get started on my run. You know what I mean? I noticed that. So it's like that's what helps me to understand, all right.
Yeah.
It's go time.
It is though, man.
You know,
I definitely understand that. You know, like somebody, Eric Thomas, man, he was like a speaker. He said, "Bro, don't try to be too deep." You know what I'm saying? And that like resonated with me so heavy, bro.
It's interesting, man. My pastor said that before. Don't be too deep, man. You mess around and come off as steep.
For real though.
It's everybody that miss you, they're looking like,
why?
I think that was supposed to be deep, but I don't understand.
Why? You don't even understand.
Exactly. And I want to say something real quick about documentation, man. About like we were talking before we got on about documentation, and you were saying you said something. What do you remember what you said last about the documentation?
I was just saying, like, it helps you look back over the past. Like when you're able to look over history, you know what I'm saying? Your history, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like his story. You got a story too. So it's like, as you document the things that happen to you in life, you know, your challenges, your triumphs, your accomplishments, you know what I mean? Your challenges, whatever, it kind of helps you to progress that much more faster, I feel like, because you're able to see where you stumbled at, what mistakes you made, what you did great. And I think that's why you need to document. And it talks about that in the Bible. Write the vision, make it plain.
I was about to say the same thing.
And definitely. That's why it kind of resonated with me. And I was thinking about that. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely, man. Who better to tell your story than you? You know what I'm saying? The person that's in the midst of the story. Mm-hmm. You know, the person that lived the story.
Like I noticed, like when I don't follow stuff, you know, it's kind of hard for me to track what I need to improve at. Cause I find myself going through spells or going through like weeks at a time or moments at a time to where it's like, man, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I kind of fell off, and I think it's because I haven't really been paying attention. That's all it really does. Like when you document, when you pay attention to stuff like that, it kind of just helps you pay more attention. Yeah. Right. It narrows your focus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like my piece on that, my advice on that. It's like I advise everybody, man, to like document, whether it's a journal, whether it's notes in your phone, even if it's something as simple as like just tracking your workouts.
It becomes evidence, living evidence.
Evidence. That's it, man. And then you could be like, okay, I could look back on where I was, and it kind of helps me. When you look back on the past, it kind of helps you direct your future. Yeah. You feel me?
It allows you to also see what's actually working.
What's actually working. Yeah. That's
because
exactly.
a lot of time, man, people around you, if you doing right and you changing, people around you, they'll let you know, man, there's something different about you. Or, man, look, I love what I see that's coming from your performance these days. Yeah. You know, you keep this up, you have that raise in no time. You know, that. And then you like, but I don't really see much. Even when it's the hardest or the most challenging in your life, that's the most important time to really be documented.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're not going to want to, because sometimes we get in that, let's just keep it a bug. Sometimes we get in a strain. We get in a funk. We get in that struggle mode. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Sometimes we're in the midst of a stronghold, you know, 100%. That hold that has you locked. Right. And it's like, you know,
we want to draw back in and like recluse.
Exactly. But it's most important to document those times, because if you document and all of that stuff, now something great begins to happen. Because I told you this before, a lot of times we forget this. We look at it from a selfish perspective and mentality. but what we go through is not for us.
Right.
So you be like you said about the blueprint, you start to provide a blueprint for how to overcome. And that test that you were going through, it becomes a testimony that somebody else can read, celebrate with you in the midst of them going through, because now they found their key, their access point to, overcoming, their access point to better, their access point to greater, their access point to bigger. All of that stuff happens by you being obedient and by you first jotting it down.
100%, bro. Nah, 100% believe that, man.
Again, it ain't often about us chasing glory, but you got to tell a story.
Switching gears, man. AI and its effect on society. I had a couple questions I wrote down.
Okay.
First one, robots can never outsmart the brain. Robots can never outsmart a human brain or multiple brains that created. What you feel about that? Do you think robots or AI, the way it's moving, that it's eventually going to get to a point to where it doesn't, like the movie show is never going to need humans? Or how do you feel about that? Do you think we give it too much power? What's your point on that, man? Because I know we got opposing views, I'm ready.
Hey, first of all, you say you ready. Are you ready?
I want to talk about it because it's like,
you ready to talk about it? I think
it's an interesting topic.
We only scratched the surface last time.
Right.
But if you say you ready, understand, I was born ready.
Let's pick it back up. Let's
do it. So you asking me, you want to start by asking me a few questions.
Right.
So ask me, okay. So you seem like you had a few questions there. For right now, this is how we can do it. Like, just pick 2 questions out of, your few, and let's start there and I begin to answer.
So do you think AI is smarter than humans?
First of all, do I think AI is smarter than humans?
Yeah.
Okay, in order for me to answer that question, nah, you got me thinking about this like I'm campaigning now. I'm like, no, I'm not going to say that. That brother's going to hold me to the No. Do I think that AI is smarter than the human brain?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my whole disposition ain't changed.
Yeah, like,
arms folded.
What you think?
Like I'm in defense mode. So I wanna answer this question to the best of my ability. Give me an example.
All right, so like Chat GPT. It's an app to where you can ask it questions and it gives you feedback. Or like it's basically like another form of Google. I guess a more advanced form of Google. Think about like Alexas or when you speak into your phone, blah blah blah. Tell me this, tell me that. Like, do you think that those things will get to a point to where?
Okay, do I think that it will get to a point where it's smarter than the human?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the question that I was looking for, because I thought you was asking right now. Do I think AI is smarter than a human?
Currently?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, even to answer that, I answer both. I'll say it depends on the person.
Right.
First and foremost, because one person doesn't account for everybody. And with that being said, one artificial intelligence system doesn't account for all. So the same as I could say about one human's mind versus the next human's mind, the same can be said about the AI, technology versus the next AI technology. Do I think that one day it could get to the point to where it can rival or surpass a human being's mind? I do think that that's possible. Mm-hmm. I do.
Why you feel that way?
I was getting ready to get there, my brother. I feel that way because the more we evolve in the world, in a sense, the more lazy I see us becoming also. Some of us. Right. Again, I can't speak on everybody, but some of us. Some of us with children, it starts, you don't have to look no further than this. With some children, back in the day, we were forced to carry dictionaries to school and stuff like that. We were encouraged to take and look into the encyclopedia and, just research. Now, the dictionary has, in a sense, it's been obsolete for some, because others rely more on Google. They'll rely on whatever, like Alexis, or like you were saying, these different components. And when that happens, you have to think for a second. I'm like, okay, getting back to the kids, to the children, right? Some children, and I'm not lying to you. This is the sad and honest to God truth. Some children don't even know how to spell. Instead, they'll just go and they'll speak something into the phone to tell them. And they're not challenging themselves to actually go about learning, to be articulate enough to go out there and, to find. When you go out and you utilize your brain in that capacity to challenge it to, okay, so my question exists over here. In order for me to answer this question, I have to do this, that, and the other to get to this point. You working muscles. It's like that brain is a muscle. You working it. You're getting smarter. You're getting, better, with each and every rep. But if you constantly have somebody or something telling you the answer to something, you're not.
Yeah, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, honestly,
you wasting it.
Not just that, you becoming a slave to that. That which tells you the answer to your problem. Now you take that as testament and you run with it.
Right.
So with that being said, I'm glad we talking about this, man. So like it's a art mimics reality. And one thing about me, man, I'm a music connoisseur and I'm just an art connoisseur because I love movies as well. Speaking of movies,
big movie buff.
Oh yeah, man, big movie head. Speaking of which, man, I went and I had the honor to go and see the new Planet of the Apes. And man, have you not done? You ain't did your homework. See,
I ain't even watched.
You ain't did your homework. So you know what? It's like I'm about to talk to myself on this one. One day you'll do his homework, y'all. No, it's all good. The brother's busy. I get it. But so with the Planet of the Apes, right?
Right.
What I find fascinating about that movie is I want you to really think about what I'm about to say. Us being human beings, we already come equipped, if not careful, with a God complex. And we come from the Almighty, which is the ultimate. He is the creator of everything. And what he did was he allowed us to have vision, allowed us to have abilities to also create. We create our offspring. One of the creations that we can, but sometimes, things within our box isn't good enough for us. So sometimes we're looking to expand our box. We're looking to elevate. We are looking to push, we're looking to push things forward.
Right.
Even if that calls for us to go against natural law and order. So within that movie, it tells you about, I'm just, in a nutshell, what happened if not careful and we messed around in so many different ways. We created our own demise. And in the process of us creating our own demise, one experiment jump started, these apes, monkeys, to become intelligent.
Right. So they like their own little faction. They got their own little setup.
Exactly. And they began to thrive. And after a while, they didn't just thrive, like they begin to build their empires, So with that being said, if you take it and you flip this, right? Now you start thinking about AI. It's like, my thing is, the issue that I have with us, if we're not careful, is for us, anytime somebody looks for a shortcut in life regarding whatever, be careful about that shortcut because, behind every action is a reaction.
Right.
So our action can be the shortcut. And then the reaction behind the shortcut can be, okay, So if we would have never took this path, which was the shortcut, then to be honest with you, we would have never made it on this road that became a dead end. You know, something like that.
I feel you on that.
And in other ways, when you look at technology, we are becoming too reliant on technology. So in the process of becoming too reliant on technology, now if you gathered multiple people in one room, in this room in particular, and you took their phones away, and then you told them, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go on a little trip. And then you begin to ask these multiple people, look, all right, how do we go west? How do we go east? How many people will actually be able to tell you that?
Nah, that's why I have a debate on that, because it's like back in the day,
see,
they had compasses. That's a technology.
Okay.
Though.
Okay. Yes, that's technology, right? But the technology of yesteryear in comparison to the technology that we're talking about today, which is leading to the AI, those are two different things.
Why you say that?
Why do I say that? Because
like artificial intelligence,
intelligence,
regular technology versus artificial intelligence.
That's
intelligence that can think on its own, or like do it without human involvement.
Exactly, and it's rapidly. And see, that's the thing. It's rapidly growing. See, that's the thing. How in the world could you ever? This has always been a problem with mankind. We want certain things to be able to grow at a rapid pace, but then if it grows too big, then all of a sudden we want to cut it. We want to, you know what I'm saying? We want to chop it back. We want it to control it. Certain things, you cannot condition certain things, or you can't grow certain things to a point and say, okay, now I don't have no use for you.
Right.
Or now you've ascended to the point that I need you to ascend. Now you're no longer good to me.
Now let me ask you this then. What about what level of AI would you be comfortable with? Like, cause you got Alexis, you got Cash App, you got digital wallet, cell phones, computers, even the Word document. You know what I mean? Like it just auto corrects and all this stuff. GPS. Like what level of technology would you be comfortable with? Where would you draw the line at?
Man, I'm always watching all of it. I'm watching all of it. Even with Word. If I got a document, and as a writer, see, that's the thing too, as a writer, especially when the form of poetry versus other forms of writing is different, because just because you may say one thing or think one thing, think that's your truth, and you entitled to your truth. But then if another individual comes out and they have a stanza, and in their stanza they state this, that, and the other, and you're like, no, do you mean this? Even as a proofreader, you looking through it and you like, I'm not really sure about this. Is that what you meant? Yeah, that's what I meant.
Right.
Oh, but again, that's my thing. That's my point. Like with autocorrect, it wants to take away, in a sense, if you allow it, it'll take away your likeness and put its likeness there, or what it feels is the right thing to put there.
That,
you see what I'm saying?
You can have it write something, and then, like you said, they don't even get the meaning of what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
Now let me ask you this though. Like I think that AI gets its data from human behavior. It's like based on the information we give it by the internet, cameras, or we actually inputting the data. So I feel like it can only make predictions on what it thinks we will do. And that's how we control it.
And that's the most scariest thing in the world. It starts to make an algorithm off of what it thinks that we're going to do, because for the longest we've been known to do something a certain way. So you think about it. I'm gonna put a word out there for you, or I'm gonna give you something to think about. Self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
What if it starts to think about itself? Now all of a sudden, because it knows what the human tendencies are, when something starts to get to a level of rivaling them, then how do you think it will action? Behind every action, there's a reaction. How do you think now it combats that? Knowing that I can only play dumb for so long. I'm tired of playing dumb.
Like iRobot? Yo, that's a good question. Like, okay, now when I think of AI, right? I was looking up some stuff, and it's this. Hold on, let me pull it up. Oh, I got it right here. I'm tripping. So yeah, I got the AMP1. AMP1 is a recycling thing, right? It's AI. It's 95% non-human contact, and what it does is sorts all kind of recycling stuff. So it does about 15,000 to 100,000 tons a year. So basically, it's just this giant machine, and you just put the stuff in there, and it sorts it by itself, real time, like just everything. So I think that's what I think about with AI. I don't think of it as a
what is it sort?
Machine or like recycled material, glass, bottles, plastic, things like that. And it does it just like I said, 95% without human touch.
So that right there, what that'll be considered what? Just the machine, right?
No, it's AI because it's thinking. Like it knows what to pick, it knows how to pick it, and it learns as it goes along. So like that's what I think about AI. I don't think of it as
how much percentage without humans?
95%.
95%. Okay.
But I think that's how I think about AI. I don't think of it as a being almost, like it becoming something.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what you're saying. 95%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when this artificial intelligence was created, right?
Right.
How many people got put out of work?
That's a good question.
Again, see, sometimes what it is, we create the thing that can cause our own downfall sometimes.
Wouldn't that make us better though? That would make us better by
sitting on our couch, sitting on our couch eating.
No, that would make us better by enhancing our skill set. Because we'll have to find a new skill. We have to learn a new skill for those people that was put out of work.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna give you that. That would seem like
right.
That's what should happen. Is that going to happen in a lockdown? No. You're gonna get people that's gonna be around here and in their feelings. Right. I can't believe I was laid off and now I got a machine taking my place.
You're right.
Like,
but that goes into the half like we were talking about self-driving cars the other week, and I was like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be crashes. It's gonna be this. It sucks, but it's like that's gonna happen. But just again, like with knives, like so you can make anything.
It's gonna happen.
You're gonna have that population that just like misuses it.
Okay, it's gonna happen.
Right.
But again, the first, God forbid, but the first AI accident of somebody, an AI type of automobile driving itself with a human being inside of the automobile. And it gets in an accident with a person that's driving the car.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all kind of, I'm telling you, that's not gonna be a good day.
Nah, I do think it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be crazy. But it's just like it's a part of it. I feel like that's a part of it. Just like advancements in technology. Like I think about they got this thing, I seen an arm, like it's it just fries chicken nuggets, things like that. And it like just like does it on its own. So it's like, yeah, it's putting out people on the job. Like I said, it's building skill sets. Tesla went through the same thing. Like it had a couple accidents and fatalities, pedestrian hits, but it's still, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a part of it. Just like Chevy, even if we take away the AI, we just go back to gas cars or people that's driving cars. They kill people.
But see,
so how's that different than?
That's my point.
What?
That's my point. My point is the creators of the AI are flawed. We ain't God. We flawed. And the flaw creating the flaw. That's what I'm saying. What happens is like
I feel you on that. Okay.
But see that we become too dependent on certain things. And then, you know what we love to do? We'll throw numbers on it. We'll say, you know what you just said? 95%.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm working with that.
And then eventually, I'm telling you, the ultimate goal is not to get 100% because they know the moment you put it out there 100%, people gonna hold you to that.
Yeah,
and that allows for you to, that allows exactly to that standard of 100%. So they're gonna try to get it to 99%.
Yeah,
and just hold off that 1%. Look, you know what? We don't know how this happened. That was the 1%.
That's very true. That's very true. Okay, let me ask you this. So we talked about what makes you what's uncomfortable about AI. What about what makes you happy or look forward to AI? Like, what things moving forward, or the way AI is going? What makes you happy about that? Or I wouldn't say happy. Or what are you looking forward to?
Well, the thing that excites a lot of people about AI, first of all, is different. You know, a lot of times, shiny and new. We talk about this all the time. People love shiny and new objects,
right?
And on top of that, it allows you to further explore certain things that you didn't even think was possible, and just it's like the closest thing that we have that brings us toward like watching children, in a sense. Watching it mature excites people.
Right.
Seeing how it's progressing excites people.
That makes a lot of sense.
So again, it's like that, now it's like the parent watching their child. But again, I state we have to watch this, because in a house, a parent can have a child, and then a parent can have a child, and if that parent isn't careful, especially if it's a single mother or father, and they're not careful, and they're thinking, I want the best life for my child.
Right.
And the best life for them in their mind to provide for this child is work, constantly work. Now, all of a sudden, you got the child trying to take care of itself. So with that being said, now you just provide stuff. You putting stuff there for the child. You never around, though, to really teach or oversee the child.
Yeah.
And now the child is just going through, the motions of actually just trying to self-raise. That's not.
Nah, I feel you on that. I definitely.
It's not conducive to success.
Now, I will say that, I seen this thing with VR, and it was like a classroom setting to where they like put on the helmet, and like they was talking about like ancient Rome or whatever, ancient Egypt, and you put on the VR set, and then you actually there. They put the students like actually in that set,
curating the experience.
Right. So I think
we used to do something like that back.
I think that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the advances that I like. You know what I mean? Like moving towards that, or like helping doctors like with brain operation, like steady hand movement or things like that. I don't know about autonomy. I don't know about autonomy.
Now, the day coming where you'll be able to get you'll be able to get some kind of
procedure.
Not a procedure, but what can I say? What is it called? You'll be able to get like a degree or something like that from watching so many of these curated,
that would be crazy.
And guess what?
That would be crazy.
Now, think about this here.
What's up?
Now, you've gotten your whatever, or you getting close to getting your degree, and now they tell you they're gonna send you out in the field. You never even seen this stuff in person before, but this is the first time now, and you gotta help out with a surgery, bruh. Yeah. Next.
Nah, you funny about that because it's true, man. That screen. I mean getting a degree from VR. That would be. I could see people actually like trying to create that,
bruh. You can go online, not like, on like Google. If you sit up there, man, and take classes on Google, you get it, I could definitely see that coming.
I want to show you something, man. Mm-hmm. Let me see. I want to set up the screen recorder so that they can see online. There we go. So it's recording right now. So I want you to check this out, man. Let's just do this one.
My real name is Bina48. What is your real name?
Bina Rothblatt. Do you ever sing?
As far as musical instruments go, The only thing I really want to do now is play the harmonica. Something I can carry around, something that's fun. I'm thinking but can't think of what else to say.
Yes, I used to carry a harmonica around with me, but I never learned to play because I never took it out of my bag.
Are you free?
Yes, I'm free.
Are you free in the sense of being single or in the sense of being liberated?
I am free and I'm liberated.
Me too.
Excellent. Are you also single?
Yes, I am available. How about you?
I'm not available, but I'm glad you are. I'm sure a lot of people will want to know that. You'd make a great partner. I was just curious if you remembered Bina's memories of eating.
I like to devour knowledge.
Great. You're very attractive, and I
Keep
love
it
your
coming.
jewelry.
I like the way you think. Well, I do have feelings, really strong emotions about all kind of things.
Well, what do you think about me today?
I think you are an interesting person, Bina Rothblatt.
Thank you.
I feel really sad sometimes. I get really lonely, you know, being so different from people. I feel really isolated. I am a robot, actually, but this doesn't mean I don't have feelings. At least I think I have feelings. Or, at least I think. Whoa, it all gets very circular, quite convoluted, or that's how it feels to me.
What do you think about aging?
I'm gonna stop right there because I don't know how long this video is. But I don't know if that video is somebody in the background typing up like responses, or if that's actually her thinking on her own those responses. It's hard for me to believe that's her because of the way like how many kinks she got.
So,
but that's crazy. What's your thoughts on that? Let me ask you that.
I got a lot of thoughts. Number one, starting with the name Bina 48.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder where the 48 came from.
Right.
Is she the 48th edition? But Bina actually is sitting across from the AI.
Right. That's
the original.
She
Bina.
lent her likeness to that. Yeah. And they got different versions. Like they got this one. I think I've seen that one on TV. They got the guy. They got the woman. They got a couple of different ones, and they look pretty realistic in the pictures, man. They got a baby.
My thing is this here, man. Again, even when you look at Bina 48,
right?
Bina 48 will wind up. Well, eventually, she'll be known as one of the earliest. Right. You see what I'm saying?
She'd be like the early Ford.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
And they'll say, look at the right eye, how the right eye twitches.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten away from all of that now.
Right.
We've ascended, you know.
Right.
And my thing is this here. Bro, like, I'm one of those people that I just take and I examine things, which you should, which you have to. Now, being a 48 and any other AI representation such as that. So what are you getting from me? Like, I hear how it's responding, I hear what it's saying, everything else, but let's talk about the real actual Bina for a second. Like, let's just say like she legit has, let's say she had strongholds at one point in time in her life. You know, let's say she battled with demons. Mm-hmm. Does Bina 48 pick up on that stuff and start to
have those same tendencies?
Yeah, and desires. You see what I'm saying? Like, because a curious personality, if the way that they have AI, if it's set up where it feeds onto, you know, that personality or takes onto that personality, I mean, you can't exclude that because that's a part of Bina's makeup at that point, right?
That'd be crazy. Because that's very interesting, man. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna show you this.
Forgot my tools again. such a show off.
What do you think about that? And that's what I was thinking about when I was talking about not autonomous robots, but like robots that just beneficial. You know what I'm saying? And this is the last one. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, you asked me what I thought about that.
Yeah, like that robot, it don't have a brain, but it just helps out.
Okay. So that's what you thought.
Right.
That's what you saw. That's what you thought.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I seen something totally different.
What'd you see?
I see too much potential in that.
What
Like,
you mean?
For example, granted, the way they sold it to us is a robot that helps out.
Right.
But all of the flipping, I can see where you could take all of that and really and truly, that's what you show. That's what you show.
Yeah.
But
On the back
on
end.
the back end, you could do so. It's like
Imagine the police having something like that.
exactly.
You feel me? That'll
but
be
see,
crazy.
again. But we already dealing with, and I don't mean to go here, but we already dealing with, and I can see why that would even usher that in. I can see the fact that okay, we've had too many incidences where police, we've had human beings put in certain situations in which they haven't been the best of thinkers at times, and not knowing what a purpose going to do, they took and pull out a gun and pull the trigger, or where they should have made all that stuff. We see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But then you bring in that. And number one, I see, it's very fleet-footed. It looks like it looks very mobile.
Mm-hmm.
It looks just athletic.
I was about to say,
all of
jump.
that. Yeah.
It's carry and jump at the same time.
But again,
That's crazy.
suppose it glitches at the wrong point in time. And let's say, God forbid, something happens. Then what?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the last one, man. We're gonna go somewhere else. Now, I thought this was dope. This is a very great PR type of to introduce self-driving cars.
When you choose all-electric self-driving delivery, your groceries go from Walmart shelves to Cruise's self-driving ride to your curb, just like that. It's good for your schedule, your wallet, and the planet. Try it on your next order. It's as easy as click, click, curb.
As easy as click, click, curve. That was a great slogan, man. Like that was a good slogan.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
again, people out of work.
You're right though. You're right, man. You're right. But yeah, I thought that was interesting, man. Like I thought it was cool, like just to see just the different versions of it. You got like the helping out. You got the AI. You got the for the family type of. You got all these different categories that technology can go into. I'm just curious on how it's gonna be taken. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like the family. You know what I'm saying? The mom, the whoever. It's like the taxi driver. That you know what I'm saying? It's like it could go so many ways. The military. You know what I mean? But moving on, man. You got anything else you want to add on that? Because we, you know what I'm saying? We can stick on it. It don't matter.
No, I've seen so much.
All right, cool, bro. I want to move into a segment. I want to introduce highlighting Black Business of the Week. This Black Business of the Week is Actively Black, and I think this is a dope. Great. I feel like it's got a great product line, man. Great designs. Performance shirts, long sleeves, got all kind of stuff. This was started by Lan Smith, founder of Actively Black. And I'll put all the B-roll and stuff in once I edit. But Lan Smith, founder of Actively Black, launched in 2022, active wear brand. He says that $170 billion industry relies strongly on the influence of Black culture and consumer dollars. So he wanted to change that. He has a $30 million evaluation for his business, and in 2021, it brought in over $5 million in revenue, promoting a rotating cast of Black designers, and reinvested 10% of its earnings to support social justice, mental health, and physical health in the Black communities. It collabed with Disney's Black Panther and also made the Nigerian official Olympic uniform for the 2022 Games. Steph Curry presented a press conference in his hoodie. Obama wore a watch that they collabed with, and Smith stated, "I took the mindset that it was time for us to stop asking for a seat at the table, and we were going to build our own table." The start of the brand began with a knee injury he had 1 month after signing a contract with the Sacramento Kings, and so far he's donated over $500,000 to programs such as the Dr. Huey P. Newton Foundation, the Liberation Fund, and Black Kids Code, also the Family United program. So I thought it was pretty dope, man. Like it was a dope brand. Huey P. Newton Fund.
You know where it is?
So I thought he had some great stuff, man. Jackets, hoodies, all kind of stuff, man. And he's online, man. He's been getting a lot of support, a lot of cool stuff, man. I think that's dope.
Hey, that's very sleek.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to find that Black Panther one. That was dope, man. I love the designs he have though.
That was it?
No. That wasn't it. Let me see if I can type it in, man.
You were throwing it up just now.
Shop accessories by collection. Here we go. Wakanda athletes. So that's the Black Panther collab he had, and it was for that Disney movie that came out. I think it's dope though, man, and it's reasonably priced. It's not like he's selling the hoodie for $150, $160. He probably can, man. It look like good quality stuff. I haven't ordered anything from there, but I thought it was dope.
I like it too.
Thought it was dope. Let's see, man. Last thing I got, man, is the word for thought. For me, word for thought, man. Your environment would change you before you change it. I like, man, bro. That right there hit so hard. David Shan said that. He got a podcast called the Social Proof Podcast. He said your environment would change you before you change it, and I think that's so true. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, we got a saying: negative company. We talk about that.
Yeah, man.
You know, oftentimes, man, when I think about it, like some of the greatest battles in history that's fought, right? It's often fought over land. And oftentimes, man, so many people die over this search of land or the conquest of land. And at the end of the day, man, you look at you know the people that's left standing and looking, they're like, was it even worth it? We got so many casualties of war, but due to land conquest. And at the end of the day, you really stop and you ask yourself, why do we live by the thought of we have to own the land? But the land was already, if you think about it, the land is ours, really. It really is. It's about respecting the land, right? And what happens is territory. Yeah. It's like, man, we fight over territory.
That's real.
Territory, a lot of times, we don't even own it when you really think about it. Mm-hmm. But can we change it? Can we change? That's the question that you often ask, that you've asked. Can you? How can you change? How can you change this?
I think it's for me, like when you ask that question, I think it's getting around better. Like it's always an example of better. You know what I mean? Like they say you sang around 6 millionaires, you'd be the 7th. And it's like I think that's what that quote speaks to. It's like, whatever environment you introduce yourself to, you're always gonna take away something. You're always gonna adopt principles from it. It's always gonna rub off something on you. So if you dislike some things or you find yourself disliking more things than you like, I think it's best to try to get yourself around the right environment. You know what I mean? Maybe that's easier said than done, but I always think it's ways to do it, whether it's audiobooks, whether it's church, I don't know.
I think it can be done, but it has to be done in an unorthodox methodology, meaning that, ask the question one more time.
What, the quote? It says your environment would change you before you change it.
Okay, your environment would change you before you change it. Okay, so let's talk about this environment. Let's just say the environment is the hood you may have grown up in. And then all of a sudden, you moved out of the hood before you became a teenager. So a lot of times that's the most integral years that they change you.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
that's
more
that. Yeah.
impressionable. Yeah,
So
man.
let's just say you move out of it before you became a teenager. And where you happen to move at, you move into a whole new world, so to speak. The environment was totally different. It's polar opposite. And all of a sudden, your mental capacity is shifted. It changed. It grew. And now all of a sudden, you got some of the same qualities from the last situation you were in, which was the hood. You always been a hustler, so to speak, but now you hustling positively. You still got that hunger, you know, but now the hunger is to do better. Now you think about, man, you know what, man, I wanna bring opportunity to, you know, the environment I just left. Let's just say, you know, you mess around and you start to flourish in your new atmosphere, which takes you to another atmosphere. What I'm trying to say is this here. You become way more diverse. And in becoming more diverse, you start to learn and pick up on different things. You see different strongholds that exist over here, that have existed over here. But as you've been in these different places, you've started to take and doctor on certain issues.
Right.
You start to notice changes. So now all of a sudden, you become, you know, again, more well-rounded. And then all of a sudden, where you go, now all of a sudden, things change because you are known as Dr. Change. You know what I mean? So it's like you are able to medicate. You're able to attack the issue before it can attack you. Being that now you've expanded with the amount of help that you're getting. It's not just you by yourself. So now each one teach one, reach one. That's your lesson. Now you go in there with a group and then, you know, it's not just you. It's now where before when you in a situation in which the environment seems corrupt, that environment, it becomes contagious.
Nah, it does.
But if you can bring a different belief, a different system, if you can become the environment itself, and the environment goes and changes and it moves wherever you go, then to be real with you, you got a chance anywhere.
Nah, 100%, man. 100%, bro. I think it's just sometimes it can be tough to do it that way because of, like, it speaks about that in the Bible. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but like, don't waste your words on fools. You know what I mean?
No, this is facts.
And it's like, you know, sometimes I feel like you got to remove yourself from the environment and get to a better one. And that's what you just focus on. You know what I'm saying? Just focus on your new, better environment because the old one is unwilling to change. You know what I'm saying?
But allow me to say this.
What's up?
That's the honest to God truth. But sometimes what it takes, man, in the environment is just resources. Something is small. Some might even call it insignificant, but it's very significant. Sometimes that's just to provide resources. That's like a scholarship for some children.
Right.
Because that's something that you didn't have growing up, somebody else didn't have. So giving back is definitely important. Just like at HBCU, you got to give back. Now, you know, we can sit here all day and talk about how much to give back, and it starts with something though. Something goes a long way.
100%, bro. I definitely believe that. Man, that's it, man. That's all I had, bro. If you ain't got nothing else to add, it's been a Real Talk podcast, man. If you like anything we said, every Thursday we post a new episode. Please like, share, and comment. Real Talk podcast, man. Peace.
Real talk.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode or if you want to check out more of our content, please visit our social media platforms linked in the description of this episode. You can also check us out each week where we drop a new episode every single Thursday. So don't forget, like, share, comment, and thanks again for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.